tomorrow we get a new fully fledged Legends and Flashback collection reward. Now, I don't necessarily know what's going on, but they decided to drop something and completely screw up what I had planned prior. So let's talk about what they showed us yesterday, and does this change anything, and what the hell does it all mean? So with all that being said, let's just dive into this one and take a look at the curveball I guess they threw. For those of you who have no earthly idea what's going on, yesterday MLB The Show revealed this. 95 overall Miguel Cabrera, a left fielder. Now, and timing this is a little bit weird. One, there's two really weird things going on here. One, this guy hasn't been connected to anything. They just sort of threw him there and just kind of left him there. Some people think that this is the first collection. The big collection is Miguel Cabrera, a Silver Slugger Miguel Cabrera who's at a 95. Now, granted, I guess in a weird way it fits. I'll get into that in a second, that this might be it. Seems a little odd, but it could be it. Or they're showing off one of the smaller collections as sort of a teaser. So if they drop something later today in, I don't know, a couple hours from me recording this, I guess we sort of know what's going on and what's going on where. So there's that. Now let's take a look at him here, because this is interesting to say the least. Now, here's what's fascinating to me about this card in particular. The offense is spectacular here. As you see here, 102 contact. His power, my fat head's blocking it. His power here is 90 and 92 respectively. His fielding, though, is absolute dog shit. I can't imagine why you would have this guy play the field. He's just a fucking DH, which really, really sucks. And the funny part of it all here is that if you can't see it here. Hang on, we'll make it so you can see it. He's got a fucking hose, by the way. So I don't know what the deal is here. This is a good card. It's just he's just a DH, unfortunately. Now, my rationale here is I'm going to break down two sides of this argument. One, that he is the absolute end-all be-all collection, and that's who we're going to be getting come Friday. Now, I'm going to be playing the devil's advocate here, because I want, there's some things here that sort of state this. Now, one, on top of it, it does seem like there's a lot going on here, meaning there's going to probably be more packs and stuff included here with the new event. We know there'll be another card, more than likely. A new conquest means there'll probably be packs, and this new collection, and a new legend. So let's just, I want to do this because I think there's something to be had with this, and I think it's something we're kind of overlooking. Now, here's the big thing, and I think the clues lead to this maybe being this. It would be weird as hell, but it would make sense, and that's this. The other two big collection cards are only 94s. Miguel Garcia requires 142 cards to get, and he is a 94. Now, mind you, in terms of like, ooh, what are we going to get here? By the way, if you haven't picked up the Mirror Sold Your Inning 1 boss, and you're kind of like, hey, what do we do? Yeah, he's going for 70K. Just putting that out there. And Cunha, if you have him, not as much. I don't know why all of a sudden Murakami shot up through the goddamn roof, but I wanted to throw that out there alongside some of these other guys, like Bryce Terang's now at 43, which is wild to me, but we'll kind of see. So I side note, but he has 142 cards, and part of me thinks that Tatis is gonna be the actual stopping point, probably, maybe, if it's a smaller collection. Now, going over here too, another big collection that would take some time, you would think, is Jackie Robinson. He's a 94 as well. He's a bigger collection card for 92 of these cards, or 42 of these cards for his retirement, for his milestone card, is also a 94. The new Threads is a 91, but it was substantially smaller. You can see that there. Jolt is just that voucher. You just need 30. I need to work on this and get my little booty to get these cards, but I haven't. Is there second half heroes? We sort of talked about this. There's 8. I only have 4 of them. these are all collections, so this might be a skip. Anyway, Spring Breakout was really easy to get, but here's my kind of like, I sort of wonder where things are going to go here. Now, here's an interesting possibility, and this is why I say, ooh, it's an interesting little slight possibility here of that maybe being the actual card. Is looking around all of this, there's an interesting thing here. There's not a lot of variety in a certain number of these. Now, a lot of these did require some good amounts. Now, let's talk about the rookie, because I think this is gonna be the one that's gonna really confuse people. Spencer Strider might be needed. I personally don't think they're gonna do that. Right now it's 3. If they extended it to 5, I could see it, because right now you're at 8. And I don't see them being like, hey, you need to finish the Phillies. I see them very much requiring Tyler Fitzgerald and Blake Snell, so being 8 or 5 for the voucher. This will be a voucher on its own if you did it already, so there's certain things you don't have to worry about. Now, let's hypothetically, that's if Miguel Cabrera, I think, is the guy at 95, which would be an interesting proposition. Now, let's say he's like a one of 2 smaller ones that you're going to get. In terms of that, let's just be crazy, okay? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 total vouchers. Let's say you need 10 of them. So that means you can just skip like Jackie Robinson and New Threads. If Tatis is there, I think this will open it up to a lot of people getting that card fairly quickly. If these don't really break the bank too much, if there's like, hey, get rookie, for instance, here, it's 8. All you have to do is get Tyler Fitzgerald on top of some of the other stuff, and you'll be fine. I can see them doing something like that and just be like, you'll deal with these later, because the rookie is very much a first half of the game kind of collect card. So you're not going to see a ton of them after the fact. Breakout, similarly, I could see them maybe saying like get 1 extra, because he's the collection reward. These 2 are collection reward. These 4, well, he's a whole thing. He's from Diamond Quest. He's a pack card. He's kind of cheapish. Nevertheless, my point here is I think there's a very high possibility that this will be a very lower end collection, and it will be Miguel Cabrera. Also, the Marlins colors now do have orange. Well, they did have orange in them. And we saw earlier that orange is kind of just their holdback color for a lot of things. But again, we haven't heard anything else, nor have we heard he's tied to the election. So what's the third possibility? Well, the third possibility is, well, he's his own separate program. I know, crazy, right? He could be another just random ass player program. It's possible. It very much is. Tomorrow is the 24th. I don't know if 424 means anything, but it could just be a player program. Granted, all the player programs we've gotten so far have only been 91s to 90s or 88s or 87s. So, I mean, it would be a jump, but it'd be an interesting jump nonetheless. Now, I couldn't really tell you. However, let's be pragmatic here. Let's go back to collections and let's be slightly pragmatic about where things are going to lie. When it comes to this collection, I think we'll break it down simply. I think at bare minimum, you're going to need 35 cards. I think probably need Carlos Beltran here at the very least, which I think is going to be it. Reason being, let's just take a look at the number of cards, just base cards. A lot of people do have this card. 36,000 players have this card. Just acquired him. A bunch of them have him at least P1, so this one very well could be just on players, just on numbers alone. New Threads, I assume Bo Bichette's going to be pretty high too. Let's see, Bo Bichette, 23. Interesting. They really didn't necessarily like that Bo Bichette. Now, this is the card that I think is going to be very interesting. I saw someone saw this on stream. 6,000 players have acquired this card, which is fascinating to me. And then if we go here, this is a little bit of a weird one. I don't know why they did this, because it just says your cards in the community. There's 6,000 who acquired this card, 9,000 have him P1. So let's just go with the high number and say 9,000 have him. Although I think this might be flip-flopped. I think this is probably the 9,000, unless people BR exists. So let's say somewhere between the two, where it's like people don't have him using BR and they got him P1. So let's just say this is like they actually own this. Could be some weird oddity, I guess. This seems very accurate. I can kind of see it because it does decrease as it goes along here. But let's just play the ballpark. Let's say 7. That's not a lot of people. Because this is insanely expensive and very hard to get. So let's just say Tatis is there. Jolt, I think, is going to be there as well. Second half heroes, there's not a ton here. But nevertheless, I don't necessarily know what we're doing here. Now, the funny, interesting part here, I don't think it's there anymore. But I want to bring this up because there was a pack here. There was a pack here that had the Easter stuff in it that kind of concerned me a smidge on Tuesday with the sale. That might be another separate collection. I really, truthfully, I don't have any earthly clue other than they just threw this idiot up there yesterday. They threw him up there and said, well, he's back. So I truthfully don't really know which direction we're headed. I think logically speaking, if we were to say like, well, what would make the most logical sense here? Well, the most logical sense is that maybe he is a lower end reward. His fielding kind of feels like it. I don't see them necessarily putting like their first big major collection as a guy who can't play the field. I know a lot of people, and I've even said myself, Buster Posey seems logical. And even if we're here, let's bring it back here. We'll close on this because I think this is a fascinating point because this is something I look at when they talk about these collections. In terms of left fielders, you could argue a 95 outfielder would really, I guess, sort of be necessary to a certain degree. Our best left fielder is Garrett Anderson, at least that I have acquired, which is wild to me. Nonetheless, in terms of just like straight up overall. Now, even in the marketplace, let's just look at the marketplace because then we can see all the cards here. Let's just realistically, let's go to filters here. Let's go to left field because I think this is sort of what I want. This is kind of what I want to see. So this Giancarlo is a left fielder. He is a 93. That is I guess the best card if you want to put it this way. Let's say these are the top 3. I know this Angel Martinez is kind of dirty. It's kind of a grody card. But let's just hypothetically say these are your best cards. Stanton, I don't think Stanton's got a 70 fielding. And he's probably your best left fielder where he's going to play anyway. So in terms of that, a 95 going from a 93, I can see it making sense. But again, I don't see them necessarily trying to do that. And plus, he's a chase card. So he's going to be a bump above everything else anyway. And even more so, this Tom Yedlin can't even play left field. He can only play second, short, and right field. So let's just again, we're sort of looking at this now. Even weirder, and why I said maybe a catcher would make some sense here. Let's look at that. We look at catcher here. Even on the market, the best one is a 92 Victor Martinez. Now, ultimately, that realistically a 99, because we've had 99 Posies before early on in the game, it would fit, and it would be kind of a retread from 6 years ago. But you look at what they just gave out. This car is what, maybe 2 weeks old at this point? 2 or 3 weeks old. Like, it hasn't been around too long. So mind you, he's sort of in the same boat if he's DHing. So maybe your best catcher might be Rick Farrell. I really don't know. Or Josh Gibson. Adley's kind of fallen out of place. Biz Mackey, I've been using a ton. I love him. He's a great player. He might be everyone's catcher because he was free. I don't know. It sort of seems like in terms of spots where it's like a vast sort of thing, it is possible. But again, looking at some of these things like, hey, we just got a Biz Mackey that was kind of free to get. He's a 90. Do they want to replace him right off rip? I don't know. It seems like we're kind of just scratching our heads and hoping and sort of looking for stuff. At the very least, he might just be like a lead in smaller collection because they want to make this one good, but they know they're going to add stuff to it later. So it's just going to be a little bit longer. I really don't know because though there haven't been programs on programs on programs and collections on collections on collections. We've had 3 really like add-on collections, or 4 technically so far, and 1 was basically a free-to-play. So I really don't have any earthly idea of what directions are going unless we get something else later today, which we might be getting. All right, all that to kind of just say this. I really think tomorrow is going to be the big sort of, we'll finally find out. Now, what's even, I guess if you want to say interesting, is I don't think there is a live tomorrow or anything. It's just going to be out there. Now, granted, there's not a ton of actual content per se. The only real like added new players are Spotlight 4. That's really it in terms of like things we can go out and get and do our weekly homework assignment. Is that everything else is connected to that? I would figure program that new flashback legend. Well, like I said, I think we're gonna see. I think the real curveball would be that Miguel Cabrera might be an event reward. That would be the only curveball, because I do believe there is no award section yet. So we can, I would say keep your eye on that one, because we don't have an awards thing yet. So that might be a sort of keep that one in the back of your pocket. I don't even know how many there are. I'm going to look really quick. Let's go to Marketplace. Let's double check and see how many rewards there are, because we don't have rewards. I know we don't have. So that might be like a sneaky little, like, we're going to throw this in here for you. Let's see. Awards wise, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, yeah. Well, the Rookie of the Years are reward cards, but they have their own separate thing. In terms of outside of that, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. There are 4. Let me switch back so I can show you. There's 4 here that aren't. So Cody Bellinger, Christian Yelich, Trey Turner, Anthony, and Tommy Edman are the ones that aren't. All these other guys are Rookie of the Year cards. So I just want to throw that out there in case you were kind of like, what about that? I don't know. I really don't know. However, we'll kind of see what happens tomorrow. So let me know down below, do you think that this is going to be, they're going to expand it a ton, or is it going to be a smaller collection? I'd love to hear what you think down below in the comment section. So that being said, my name is Specs, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.